Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good can you hear me? Good morning Abhiram. I don't know why my system is telling me that I am not audible. I hope I'm audible to all. Okay, great. So let me see who is there. Abhiram. Okay, so I think in the previous class we had started with friction. Yes or no? We had started with friction and we had seen the types of friction. We had seen that there is kinetic friction and then there is static friction. Now, kinetic friction happens when two bodies are in motion with respect to each other. They are in motion with respect to each other. Static friction happens when there is no motion, but there is a tendency of motion. Do we remember this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Not able to see all of you. So, do we all remember this about friction, kinetic and static? Okay. Now, if you recollect, in kinetic friction, we had also seen two types of friction. In kinetic friction also, we had seen two types of friction. The first type of friction was sliding friction, and the next type of friction was rolling friction. Now, as I already told you, this rolling friction is not in our course. The only friction that is in our course is known as sliding friction. Now, this friction comes when two bodies are sliding over each other. So, whenever we have two bodies which are sliding over each other, then you will have this sliding friction. Now, I also told you friction is a force, and force will have two components. So sliding friction also has two components. One is the magnitude of sliding friction and the other one is the direction of sliding friction. Do we remember this? Magnitude and direction of sliding friction. And we had very nicely seen that with some examples, I think we had seen what is the direction of sliding friction. The direction of sliding friction is such that it opposes, remember, friction does not oppose motion, it only opposes relative motion. So the direction of sliding friction is always such that it opposes relative motion. Do we remember this? I don't see anyone in the class, so I'm not able to make out whether you are able to understand this or not. I hope you are able to see me, and if I can see you, that would be good so that I can understand whether you are getting the thing or not. So I'm guessing that since no one is telling me anything from the class, we are on the same page. Magnitude of sliding friction. Did we talk about the magnitude of sliding friction? I guess we talked about the magnitude of sliding friction, and we said that the magnitude of sliding friction is mu, or instead of mu, you can write it as mu k, where you remember mu k is a constant which is known as coefficient of sliding friction. Now this constant coefficient of sliding friction only depends on the two surfaces which are in contact. If you want to change the value of mu or mu k, you must change the two surfaces. For example, if one surface is this phone and other surface is this mouse, the value of mu will remain same. If I want to change it, if I replace this mouse by a pen, the value of mu will change. So mu depends on the two surfaces which are in contact. Either you change the two surfaces, or what you can do is you put some lubricating oil. If this is lubricating oil or water, if I put it on this surface, then the value of mu will change. That is the only way of changing the value of mu. And as you can see, sliding friction is mu k multiplied by n. The only way you can change the value of sliding friction is by changing the value of mu k or by changing the value of n. I told you friction does not depend on area of contact. So if I put this bottle like this or like this, the friction force will remain constant. But I must remember that this surface and this surface must be same. If the surfaces are different, then only friction will change. If the surfaces are same, friction does not depend on area of contact. Do we remember this? Friction does not depend on the area of contact. It only depends on the two surfaces which are in contact. Okay, I hope you are able to see this. So now what we are going to do is to solve simple problems in friction and see how we can apply this concept here. Let me put this problem for you. Let us say this is a surface and this is a block of mass, let us say 5 kgs. This is moving with a velocity, let us say 10 meters per second on a rough surface, and the value of mu k is 0.2. So mu k, which is the coefficient of friction, is 0.2. Am I audible to everyone? I don't see a lot of people in the class, so I'm a bit confused. So I have a block of mass 5 kg moving on a surface with a velocity of 10 meter per second. The value of mu k is 0.2. Now, what are the questions that you have to find out? You have to find out the acceleration of the block. Now, you might say, sir, it is not accelerating, it is deaccelerating. Deacceleration only means that the body is slowing down. I will always call it acceleration. I will never call it deacceleration. So we understand that the body is slowing down, so you can call it deacceleration, but I will call it acceleration. Number 2, the value of kinetic friction. Number 3, the time it takes to stop. So in one question, I have asked all the questions. And number 4, the distance traveled before stopping. Now you must understand that if there is friction, it will not keep on moving always. If there was no friction here, this block will keep on sliding always for infinite time. But now Friction is there, so after some time it will stop. So the questions are, number one, find the acceleration of the block. You can call it deceleration. Number two, value of frictional force. Number three, how much time it takes to stop. Number four, what is the distance traveled? I'll give you 2 minutes to solve it. Okay, let me help you out in solving this question. Now, how are you going to do this? Remember, any question, the first step is always to draw the free body diagram. Let me solve this one for you, and then I hope that you can solve the next one. So first of all, I'm going to draw the free body diagram. The weight of this is 50 newtons. It is kept on a surface, so normal reaction N is upwards. There is no force in the forward direction, but remember, this is put on a rough surface, so frictional force will be acting on this block. Now, when you talk about frictional force, it is a force, so you must think about two things. What is the magnitude and what is the direction? Let us first think about the direction. What will be the direction? Now, look at this block. If you look at this block is moving forward. This block is moving forward with respect to ground. Now, as soon as you see that this block is moving forward with respect to ground, you should be able to understand what will be the direction of frictional force. The direction of frictional force would be backwards because it is moving forward with respect to ground. So the direction of frictional force would be backwards. And here we have drawn the direction of frictional force. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hands? Okay, that is the direction of frictional force. It is backwards. Now we have to find the magnitude of frictional force, but before finding out the magnitude of frictional force, let us look at the vertical motion. In the vertical direction, normal N is upwards and 50 is downwards. It is not going to move like this. So straight away I can write this equation. What will be the equation? My normal reaction would be 50 newtons. Remember, in all the questions that we had done, I have always calculated the value of normal reaction. Now you will understand why I calculated normal reaction, because because whenever there is friction, you will have to find out the value of this friction, and the value of this friction depends on this normal reaction. The value of frictional force depends on normal reaction, and that is why, bacha, in all the questions that we have done before, I have always calculated the value of normal reaction. Now, what is the value of this frictional force? You must know the value of frictional force is mu k multiplied by the normal reaction. So this value of frictional force is mu k multiplied by normal reaction. Now you can just put the values. The value of mu k is 0.2. So it is 0.2 multiplied by normal reaction is 50. Normal reaction is 50. 0.2 multiplied by 50, and you have your answer. It is 10 newtons. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? So we have understood the value of frictional force. The value of frictional force is 10 newtons. It is 0.2, which is mu k, multiplied by 50, which is the normal reaction. Can I have some reason that we have understood this? Okay, so we have the value of Fk. Fk is simply equal to 10 newtons, N standing for newtons. Okay, so this problem is solved. Now let us look at the second problem. And the second problem is finding the acceleration of this block. What is the acceleration of this block? Now remember, the only force acting on this block is the frictional force in the backward direction. There is normal reaction in the upward direction. There is gravity in the downward direction, but normal reaction and gravity are balancing out each other. So normal reaction is 90. So the only force is backwards. Only force acting on this is backwards, and hence the acceleration, the yellow sign will be backwards. The acceleration of this block will be backwards. Do we understand this? The acceleration of this block has to be backwards. Acceleration is backwards. Why it is backwards? Because the only force acting on it is frictional force, which is backwards. So acceleration is backwards. But as you can see, the velocity is forward. So velocity and acceleration are in the opposite direction. This block is going to slow down and eventually it will stop. I hope you understand this. Now, how will I find the value of acceleration? How will I find the value of acceleration? Whatever force is acting on this block, to find out acceleration, what we do is acceleration, we have to find out the net force acting on this block and divide it by the mass of the block, because F is equal to ma. The only force acting on this block is frictional force in the backward direction. So that will be equal to frictional force Fk in this case divided by m. Fk is 10 newtons divided by 5. So the answer becomes 2 meter per second square. Do we understand this? Net force is frictional force, 10 divided by 5. The answer for acceleration is 2 meter per second square. Am I clear? The only force acting on this block is frictional force, which is 10 newtons. 10 divided by 5, the answer becomes 2 newtons. Got this or not? So now I have two answers. The value of frictional force Fk is 10 newtons. That is my first thing. And I also have the acceleration of block as 2 meter per second square. Remember, it is in the backward direction. It is in the backward direction. I also know the initial velocity, if you call it as u, initial velocity is 10 meter per second, and it is in the forward direction. Now we know these three things. Yes or no? Now I have to find out the time it takes to stop. Time it takes to stop. So that implies my final velocity is 0. My final velocity is 0. So which equation I am going to apply? V is equal to u plus at. This is the equation that I am going to apply. The final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 10. 10 in the forward direction. So I'll call it as plus 10. Remember my sign convention. Everything going forward is positive. Everything backwards is negative. So u becomes plus 10 plus my acceleration is 2 meter per second square, but it is in the backward direction. So I'll write it as minus 2 multiplied by t. From here, I can calculate the value of t. T will be 10 divided by 2. Answer would be 5 seconds. So it will stop after 5 seconds. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this? What I have done? First, I found out the value of frictional force. From frictional force, I have calculated the value of acceleration. Once I know the value of acceleration, I know the initial velocity. I know the final velocity is 0 because it has to stop. From there, I can calculate the value of time. Yes or no? Can I have some raised hands? Okay. Now we move on to the last part of this question, distance traveled. Distance traveled. Now there are many ways to find out the distance traveled. Here distance traveled will be same as the magnitude of displacement because it is going in a straight line. So I can apply the equation v square is equal to u square plus 2a into delta r. Final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 10 plus 10 squared plus 2 times acceleration is minus 2 multiplied by delta r. From here, you can find out the value of delta r, which is the magnitude of displacement, and magnitude of displacement will be same as distance because it is moving in the straight line and not changing back. What will be the value of delta r or displacement from here? That will be 100 divided by 4, and I think it will be plus 25 plus indicating that it is in the forward direction. It will move in the forward direction. Have we understood this? Let me recap the entire question once again for those who have missed it. The question was, we had a block of mass 5 kg moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second. The value of coefficient of friction was 0.2. We had to find out the acceleration of the block, the value of frictional force, the time it takes, and the distance traveled. The first thing that we found out was the value of kinetic friction. The value of kinetic friction is mu k into n. We put the value of mu k, you put the value of n. How did we get the value of n? From the green equation. Upward force is equal to downward force. We got the value of ns50. From there, we calculated the value of frictional force. Frictional force came as 10 newtons. That is the only force in the backward direction. From there, we calculated the value of acceleration. The value of acceleration was 4 divided by mass 2. It is in the backward direction, so I call it minus 2. The initial velocity is 10. So we got the value of answer number, question number 1, question number 2, time taken to stop. We have applied the equation v is equal to u plus at. For distance traveled, we have found out the displacement v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Am I clear? Anyone has any doubt? Please raise it now. Anyone has any doubts? Please raise it now. Anyone in the class? I don't see you people, but I hope that you are able to understand this. Anyone in the class wants to ask anything, please come up. Well, no one. Then probably I'll move on to the next question. I'll give you one question that you can solve. This is the block of mass 2 kg moving with a velocity of 5 meter per second on a rough road. The value of mu k is 0.1. Again, you have to solve. You have to get me the value of Fk, which is the frictional force. You have to get me the value of acceleration. you have to get me the value of time it takes to stop. And fourth, you have to find out the displacement or the distance traveled before it stops. So 4 questions. If you can solve all of these, that means you are done with question of this type. I'll give you 2 minutes. Think about it and solve it. Are you trying the question, everyone? Are you trying the question, everyone, or shall I solve it? Okay. Okay. So I'll put it. Weight is 20 newtons. Normal reaction is N. Straight away you can say, oops, wrong color. Straight away you can say N is upwards, 20 is downwards. It is not going to move like this. So you can write the result. Normal reaction N is 20 newtons. Do we understand this? Can I have raised hand that we understand this? Okay. Now let us think about what will be the direction of friction force. This block is moving forward with respect to ground. So ground will apply frictional force to oppose the motion. Oppose the motion means frictional force will be in the backward direction. What will be the value of this frictional force? It is always equal to mu k multiplied by n. Mu k multiplied by n. The value of mu k, as you can see, is 0.1. The value of normal reaction is 20. So it will be 0.1 multiplied by 20. So the answer would be 2 newtons. That is the value of the frictional force, 2 newton. Yes or no? Did we get the answer for this one? Did we get the answer for this one? Can I have some raised hand that we got the answer? Okay. Now, how will you find the value of acceleration? The only force here is the frictional force, which is 2 Newton. The frictional force is backwards. The frictional force is backwards, and hence acceleration will also be backwards. And the value of acceleration will be the net force, which is 2 Newton. So I must write net force, F net. Net force is mass into acceleration. Net force is 2. Mass is 2 into A. So my acceleration becomes 1 meter per second square. So my answer for acceleration is 1 meter per second square. Do we get this one? The only force is frictional force. There is no other force. So you just divide frictional force by the mass and you get the value of acceleration. How do I get the value of time? To get the value of time, we apply the equation v is equal to u plus at. We have to find the time taken to stop. So final velocity becomes 0. Initial velocity is 5, which is in the forward direction. So I can call it as plus 5. Acceleration is 1 meter per second square in the reverse direction. So I can call it as minus 1 into t. If I solve this equation, I will get t as 5 seconds. So the value of t is not a question mark now. I have calculated it and it is 5 seconds. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Can I have some raised hand that we have understood this? To get the value of displacement or distance traveled, which equation we can use? You can simply use the equation v square is equal to u square plus 2 times acceleration into displacement. Final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is plus 5. So plus 5 squared plus 2 times acceleration is minus 1 into delta r. Delta r is your displacement, which is same as the magnitude of displacement is same as the distance traveled. So delta r will become 25 divided by 2 with a plus sign. So it will be plus 12.5 meters, plus indicating that it is in the forward direction. Therefore, the distance traveled becomes 12.5 meters. Do we understand this? Everyone? Okay, what we have done here? We have simply used the information and find out the relevant values, put the values, get the answer, stay happy. Are we confident with these type of questions? Can I move forward now? Okay. Now let us move on to the second variety of questions. Now in the second variety of question, we will only find out the acceleration, because once we get the value of acceleration, they might ask you how much time it will take to stop, what is the distance traveled. Once you get the value of acceleration, everything becomes simple. So now we'll not be finding out the velocity and distances. We will just find out the acceleration. And once we get the acceleration, that would be the finish. That would be the end of the question. So let us now, I have this block whose mass is, let us say, 5 kg. I have applied a force, let us say 20 newtons onto this block. and it is kept on a rough surface, the value of mu k is 0.1. The first question is find out the value of fk. The second question is what is the acceleration of the block. Once we know the acceleration, the rest of the things can be simply solved. So this is the question. I hope you can solve it. Let us see who can do this. How are we going to solve this question? Weight is 50. Normal reaction is n. So the first thing that you must understand is it is not going to move like this. So the first thing that you can write is normal reaction is 50 newtons. Is this clear to everyone? Normal reaction is 50 newtons. Now, here the motion is not given to you, that how is the block moving? How is the block moving? It is not given to you. How do you find out where the block is moving? In what direction is the block moving? It is simple. The only force that is trying to move the block is 20 newtons. The only force that is trying to move the block is 20 newtons. Yes or no? Friction cannot move the block on its own, right? The force which is 20 newtons is trying to move the block. So the only direction in which this block can move is forward direction. Yes or no? The only way this block can move, the only direction this block can move is in the forward direction. Yes or no? Now, as soon as it tries to move in the forward direction, friction will start acting on it and friction would be in the backward direction. So you understand how we have found out the direction of frictional force. How we have done this? Very simple. It is not given how the block is moving, but the only force which is trying to move the block is 20 newtons, which is in the forward direction, and hence this block can only move in the forward direction, and hence friction has to act backwards. Do we understand this? Friction has to act backwards. Now when friction acts backwards or forwards, the value of frictional force is always constant and it is always equal to mu k multiplied by n. Now what is the value of mu k? Mu k is 0.1. The value of normal reaction is 50. So my value of frictional force, kinetic friction, becomes 5 Newton. Yes or no? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this? So this kinetic friction is 5 newtons in the backward direction. Can I have some raised hands? Okay, now we have to find out the acceleration. Now remember, the only force acting on this block is not the frictional force alone. Where is a 20 Newton ka force which is acting in the forward direction. Then there is 5 Newton ka force which is acting in the backward direction. 20 newtons this side, 5 newtons this side. Where will it move? It will move in the forward direction. It will move in the forward direction. How do I find the value of the acceleration, I have to find out the net force. And what is the net force here? 20 here, 20 in the forward direction, 25 in the backward direction. So 20 minus 5, that should be equal to mass 5 into acceleration A. So 15 becomes equal to 5A, which implies my acceleration becomes 3 meter per second square. Do we understand this? Do we understand this? How we have done this? The acceleration is 3 meter per second square. How did I get this? 20 Newton is forward, frictional force is backwards. 20 minus 5 is equal to MA. M is 5, 5A. A becomes 3 meter per second square. Can I have some raise hand that we have understood this? Okay. Now, let us change the question. Let us change the question. And now let me put the question like this. Same question, 5 kg block, 20 newtons is the force. What I have changed here is the value of mu k. Let me put mu k as 0.2. Now, why I am doing this question? So that you understand how can I change the value of frictional force. Frictional force is mu k multiplied by n. Here I have changed the value of mu k. Now, even if I put the block like this, all the block like this, all the block like this, changing the orientation of the block will not change frictional force. We can only change frictional force by changing the value of mu k. I've changed the value of mu k. Let us now find out the frictional force and let us now find out the acceleration. Then we'll do the last part of this question where I'll change something else. So, how does the question look like now? How does the question look like now? 50 Newton goes here. Normal reaction comes up. Nothing has changed here. N is upwards, 50 is backwards, 50 is downwards. My normal reaction still remains 50 newtons. Nothing changes here. Now let us see in which direction the block will move. The only force which is trying to move the block is forward. So this block can only move forward. Let us call the acceleration as A. As soon as the block moves forward, frictional force acts backward. Frictional force acts backwards. The value of the frictional force is mu k multiplied by n, 0.2 multiplied by 50, and now it becomes 10 newtons. So now this becomes 10 newtons. Previously it was 5 newtons. Now it has become 10 newtons. Why it has become 10 newtons? Even if you change how the block is kept, it does not change the value of frictional force. The only way you can change the value of frictional force, one way is to change the value of mu k. I have changed the value of mu k. So this is 10. Now what do I see? 20 in the forward direction, 20 in the forward direction, 10 in the backward direction. What is the net force? F net. F net will be 20 forward minus 10 backwards, 20 forwards, 10 backwards. That must be equal to 5A. From here, I will get the value of A as 2 meter per second square. Am I clear with this? Do we understand this? How I got the value of acceleration? Previously, the acceleration was coming as 3 meter per second square. Now the acceleration is coming as 2 meter per second square. What has changed here? I have changed the value of mu k. That is what I have changed. And it has changed the value of frictional force. And since the value of frictional force has changed, the acceleration has also changed. Now let us move to the last part of this question. Now see what I have done. I have now put the force at an angle. Mu k, I have kept it as 0.1, the original value, but I have changed the angle of the force. Now what will happen when I change the angle of the force? I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it and then try to solve the question. 2 minutes, think about it. Okay. I tried to solve the question, but I think I was on mute. I did not know that I was on mute. So in question number 3 or question number 4 or question number 5, what we have done? We have found out the net force. In question number 3, the net force was 20 in the forward direction and 5 in the backward direction. So the net force becomes 20 minus 5. Net force becomes 15 newtons, and that must be equal to 5 times acceleration, mass into acceleration. We have done many questions on this. I don't think there is nothing new. 20 is forward, 5 is backward, so net force is 20 minus 5. That must be equal to MA. We have been doing this for a long time. Remember the block? One force was like this, other force was like this. This force minus this force is equal to MA. We have been doing this for a long time. I hope you remember this. Am I clear? Am I clear with students in the class? In all the questions, we are finding out the net force. Net force is equal to MA. And that is how we have done all the questions up till now. Remember that question in tension. Tension was upwards, mg was downwards. If the block is moving upwards, T minus mg. If the block is moving downwards, mg minus T. Here instead of T, we have frictional force. Block is moving forward, forward minus reverse is equal to MA. Am I clear now? If I don't see you, I won't be able to understand what is happening. I've said this many times that a camera must be present where I can see your faces. There is no camera, I'm just talking to a camera in front of me. That is not good. Anyways, anyone in the office, if you're listening to me, please arrange a camera so that I can see the students. If there is no camera, I'm not able to interact. I've told this many times. Okay, how do I solve this question? I have to draw free body diagram. 50 is downwards. Normal reaction is upwards. Now, before saying that normal reaction is 50, wait. Here, this 20 newtons is not horizontal, it is at an angle. So I will have to resolve it. This will be 20 into cos 37. Cos 37 is 4 by 5. So 20 into 4 by 5, this becomes 16 newtons. This becomes 16 newtons. This is 20 sine 37. Sine 37 is 3 by 5. So this becomes 12 newtons. 20 into 3 by 5. Am I clear with this? What I have done here is I have resolved the forces. This 20 newtons, since it was at an angle, I have to resolve it in the horizontal and the vertical direction. Yes or no? We understand this? Now, if I look at the equation, normal reaction is upwards, but I also have 12 Newton, which is upwards, and 50 is downwards. You can see something has changed. What has changed? N plus 12 now becomes 50. So my N becomes 38 Newtons. So in this question, what has changed? In this question, what has changed? In this question, I have changed the value of normal reaction. What I mean to tell you is frictional force can be changed in two ways. You can change the value of mu, or you can change the value of n. As you can see how I've changed the value of n. Previously 20 newtons was horizontal. I have put 20 newtons like this and I've changed the value of n. Now n becomes 38. Now where is this block going to move? The only force is 16 newtons, which is trying to pull the block here in the forward direction. So the block will only move in the forward direction. Yes or no? Do we understand this? As soon as the block moves forward, frictional force will act backwards. What will be the value of this frictional force? The value of this frictional force will be mu k multiplied by n. What is the value of mu k? It is 0.1. What is the value of normal reaction? It is 38. So this becomes 3.8 newtons. So I can write this as 3.8. Now look at the forces. Look at the forces. 16 newtons is forward. 3.8 newtons is backwards. 16 newton here. 3.8 newton here. Where will this move? Obviously, it will move forward. What will be the acceleration? 16 forward minus 3.8, which is backwards. The pink one, 16 forward, 3.8 backwards, must be equal to 5a, and this is how I can calculate the value of a in this case. Do we understand this, everyone? How I have done this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this? In all the questions, bacha, what I have done, in all the questions, what I have done is find out the net force and equated it to mass into acceleration. If you look at the first question or question number 2, in question number 2, if you can see right now, the only force acting on the block was frictional force. The only force was frictional force. And then we found out the acceleration by simply dividing frictional force by mass. But in the questions later on, question number 3 and so on, what was happening was there was two forces, one in the forward direction and one in the reverse direction. So we found out the net force. In question number 3, it was 20 minus 5. In question number 4, it was 20 minus 10. In third question or question number 6, it was 16 minus 3.8. Do we understand this? Okay. So that was today's class. If you have any doubts, you can ask. I am in the class. I'll wind off this class here. In the next class, I'll do two more questions on this, and we will discuss it more. If you have any doubt, you can ask. The class from my end is over.